Had the whole world at our feet, watching seasons change. Our roads were lined with adventure, mountains in the way couldn't keep us from the sea. Here we stand, open arms. This is home where we are, ever strong in the world that we made. I still hear you in the breeze, see your shadows in the trees.
Infinite, infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite
You're gonna break my heart. You're gonna tear it apart. No matter what you do, I'll still be there for you.
Every time you two are getting rough, my mind just sounds like Shia LaBeouf. It says no, 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 just no, 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 no. And every time I see him with you, my heart sounds like Shia LaBeouf too. No, 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 no. Shia LaBeouf, it says no, 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 just no, 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 no. And every time I see him with you, my heart sounds like Shia LaBeouf too. No, 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 no.
Never gonna let you go, never gonna say goodbye, no.
tells tales of rebellion, but she was so fast and quick with her bow, no one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. A rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a tavern, but she was so sharp and quick with a bow. Arrows strike like a dragon. Sarah was never quite the gentlest girl. Her eyes were sharp like a razor, but she knew the ways of commoner men, and she knew just how to use them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never an agreeable girl. Her tongue tells tales of rebellion, but she was so fast and quick with her bow, no one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. A rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a tavern, but she was so sharp and quick with a bow. Arrows strike like a dragon. Sarah was never quite the gentlest girl. Her eyes were sharp like a razor, but she knew the ways of commoner men, and she knew just how to use them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never an agreeable girl. Her tongue tells tales of rebellion, but she was so fast and quick with her bow, no one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. A rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a tavern, but she was so sharp and quick with a bow. Arrows strike like a dragon. Sarah was never quite the gentlest girl. Her eyes were sharp like a razor, but she knew the ways of commoner men, and she knew just how to use them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never an agreeable girl. Her tongue tells tales of rebellion, but she was so fast and quick with her bow. No one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. A rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a tavern, but she was so sharp and quick with a bow. Arrows strike like a dragon. Sarah was never quite the gentlest girl. Her eyes were sharp like a razor, but she knew the ways of commoner men, and she knew just how to use them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never an agreeable girl. Her tongue tells tales of rebellion, but she was so fast and quick with her bow. No one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. A rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a tavern, but she was so sharp and quick with a bow. Arrows strike like a dragon. Sarah was never quite the gentlest girl. Her eyes were sharp like a razor, but she knew the ways of commoner men, and she knew just how to use them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never an agreeable girl. Her tongue tells tales of rebellion, but she was so fast and quick with her bow. No one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. A rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a tavern, but she was so sharp and quick with a bow. Arrows strike like a dragon. Sarah was never quite the gentlest girl. Her eyes were sharp like a razor, but she knew the ways of commoner men, and she knew just how to use them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her away. She's a rogue and a thief. Sarah was never an agreeable girl. Her tongue tells tales of rebellion, but she was so fast and quick with her bow, no one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. A rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a tavern, but she was so sharp and quick with a bow. Arrows strike like a dragon. Sarah was never quite the gentlest girl. Her eyes were sharp like a razor, but she knew the ways of commoner men, and she knew just how to use them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never an agreeable girl. Her tongue tells tales of rebellion, but she was so fast and quick with her bow, no one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. A rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a tavern, but she was so sharp and quick with a bow. Arrows strike like a dragon. Sarah was never quite the gentlest girl. Her eyes were sharp like a razor, but she knew the ways of commoner men, and she knew just how to use them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never an agreeable girl. Her tongue tells tales of rebellion, but she was so fast and quick with her bow, no one quite knew where she came from. Sarah was never quite the quietest girl. Her attacks are loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew how to enrage them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you could own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. A rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. Sarah was never quite the wealthiest girl. Some say she lives in a tavern, but she was so sharp and quick with a bow. Arrows strike like a dragon. Sarah was never quite the gentlest girl. Her eyes were sharp like a razor, but she knew the ways of commoner men, and she knew just how to use them. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate. She would always like to say, why change the past when you can own this day? Today she will fight to keep her way. She's a rogue and a thief and she'll tempt your fate.
Thursday evening, 8 p.m., and you're listening to the home of Commodore 64 remixes, Slay Radio. Let us spice up your evening with Slaygon's incoherent ramblings.
Anywho, Hazel.
And Xiona's Pro Dance moves to the best selection of remixes, sits, and demo scene tracks. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this thing. Slay tuned.
Fiddly-doom.
Good that I switched on the mic, right?
Yeah, I was just about to check, but I thought, fuck it. Even if she didn't switch them on, we're fine. This doesn't matter.
Yeah, anyway, hello everyone and welcome to our Corona show. No. It's almost like, no.
No, it's actually, it doesn't actually, did you hear me say actually?
Yeah, actually, I don't
actually,
know who
it doesn't,
told you that.
Actually.
Actually.
No, my thinking was that it doesn't necessarily need to be related to this current kind of thingy, pandemic. But in general, like if you were to be quarantined, what do you do with your time? How do you spend your time? Like, do you just sit there and stare into a wall? Do you read a book? Do you play your guitar or learn to play a guitar? Or maybe a harmonica? What do you do?
Well, this is what we are going to talk about today.
Yes, I know. But in general, it doesn't need to be connected to the corona thing.
No, it doesn't.
Just
Not
saying that.
only, obviously, but now that everyone talks about this, we thought that it's a great thing to come up with ideas how you can spend your valuable time in between walls. And, of course, at the first days, it seems like an attractive thing to work from home, for example, but on a long run, some people can go nuts. It depends what type of person you are.
Yeah,
so.
and we both actually tried it for a longer period of time, and it has its merits, and I guess we could talk about those and the downsides as well further down the line here during the evening.
Yeah, and we will. So I guess that's a good topic and a very current one. So we will see how this thing continues. But certainly here in Sweden right now, workplaces start to kind of tell everyone that it's okay to work remotely. It's fine. So most of the workplaces are still okay. They are absolutely functional. I guess mine and yours too. We just start to work remotely whenever we feel that there is something maybe there, but for the others' sake. So fortunately, us are not that, well, we are not that affected, but there are industries that are affected very much so. So we will see how this thing will come and go. Hopefully it will come and go. And then everything
it kind of came already.
Yeah, it already came. So we are waiting for the go part. And a very interesting thing is happening. Tractor has frozen, meanwhile playing the bed. The bed.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And it started again.
But was it still playing it?
Yeah, it started to play it again.
I meant the audio. Was that playing?
I think our audio was okay. It's just the bad music that started to.
The graphic. The question was the audio engine still running? As in, was it still playing the audio, but the visuals, the GUI, was frozen? So there's different things.
I barely hear right now the bad music. I think it stopped playing. So
because I cannot hear it at all from here.
Yes, I know, and me neither when I don't have my headphones on. Yeah. So thanks for asking, but I'm just almost certain that there was no audio, and maybe others can confirm that. You can join us on the usual channels, of course, IRC, Facebook, YouTube, depends on what you prefer. And we will start of the day, evening, with your suggested tune, which is Seven Sins and Armageddon Man, Blow It 2011 version. Okay,
forgot.
then, yeah.
I forgot he had that odd rhythm to the guitar thing there. Like he put in the guitar one beat earlier, because just copy pasted it and just thought, fuck it, leave it.
Well, it was your request. You're responsible for that.
Well, I forgot.
Okay, yeah, I accept that. And LP Chief is asking, are you quarantined because of the coronavirus? Is that because you were infected or because you were ordered to stay home in case? I mean, if you are infected, you will be ill and then it doesn't really matter. You will be sick in bed, right? Well, it's not that simple. The thing is with this thing, that it can spread really easily, as you know it. Probably everyone repeatedly told you that already, so we don't want to repeat this, but since it's able to survive in air and on surfaces for like maximum 28 days, I think, practically you can just get it anyhow.
Yeah, I think they narrowed that down to some 9 days or something on hard surfaces and about a day or whatever on softer like cardboard and stuff.
Exactly, and the thing is that at the workplace of Slagon, wife of his colleague was diagnosed with the virus, and well, he was also kind of in direct contact with the colleague. We don't know because we don't have symptoms yet, so it's it can be really anything. And right now we are just working from home since today, because it's better to wait this thing out, how it manifests, if it does, and then we will see how we feel like after 4 or 5 days.
So working from home today and tomorrow, and then taking the weekend to and just see how it all feels and what the situation is, because there might come some new directives from the workplace or whatever. So yeah, who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Might have exploded by then. The world, I mean. Just
yeah, exactly. So we will see how it goes. Not the health effect is the most dangerous with this, I think. Certainly we have a high chance to survive this, so usually it causes more problems for those that have like weaker immune system or any other problem. But it's rather the effect that it causes in logistics and everything that is a bit bothering. So that part is harder to deal with, and I know that a lot of people
hate hoarding.
Yes, hoarding and exactly, collecting all the things that you can just do. I know that a lot of people hate to talk about this thing already, and they think that everyone is talking about it is just so what a kind of hysteria it causes and all of that. We understand that, but the problem is that you just cannot avoid it. Like there is just no chance.
Every second post on Facebook or whatever is Corona here, this and Corona that.
Yeah, that's one thing, and you might hate that too. But the problem is that, like it or not, you probably won't be able to avoid it anyway.
Yeah,
so.
All Professor Zelda wants you to do is wash your hands and everything will be fine.
Yeah, hopefully everything will be fine anyway. Well, even if we have the thing, we will just work remotely. So from our end, there won't be stopping in productivity, I assume. Unless we are really ill and we have like hard breathing and fever and all of that, maybe then. But we are not really the types that is kind of easy to knock out to the bed. So hopefully it will stay that way, even if we have this thing. But so far, no symptoms yet. So yeah, we will see how it continues. And we already got some nice tips, by the way. So play with 64 games. It's a nice tip. It's always a great idea, and you can definitely spend hours.
Yeah, I need to hook the 64s up, like the one right next to you. Do we see that somewhere? Yeah, I guess we can see that on this one. Maybe. Let's see. Do that and do that. Yeah, there we go. We can actually see it's on the picture now. on the overview camera, the Commodore 64 behind you. You need to hook it up. I have a couple of other ones that I need to hook up and see if they actually work, because that is a nice suggestion. I haven't switched those on in a while.
Yeah, it's always very nice. And another thing is Michael Wildhagen is already firing up his Cubase just to spend the time creatively. So he said that he's trying to reconfigure Cubase to the latest studio needs. So quarantine can last till next winter at least.
Yeah, it always takes a shit bunch of time, if you, especially if you're reinstalling. Like technically, I should reinstall the workstation that you're sitting at right now, because it still runs Windows 7, and it's starting to kind of misbehave slightly. So technically, I should reinstall it with Windows 10. Because they reworked the whole audio engine in Windows 10 to be lower latency, and they essentially just reworked the whole thing. Yeah, it has benefits, but then again, on the new laptop, I run Windows 10, and it just keeps on doing these weird things in the background that you have no control over, and then all of a sudden you get weird lags. And well, when we were recording the interview, for instance, it's had this stutter in the audio. Well, so lucky I actually recorded on 2 other devices at the same time.
Yeah, and
So,
we will air it soon at some point. So hopefully...
I was going to work on that last weekend, but actually had to do some actual work.
Actual work. Yeah, and that was actually a good tip. So doing backups... Yeah, actually doing backups and doing reinstallation of your config is definitely an activity that you can spend entire days with. So this is why, or weeks, this is why I try to avoid updating as long as I can. But then again, it's not always good and not always recommended, so I'm not recommending this to anyone. But
and with Windows 10, it's not even an upgrade for that machine, it's a reinstall. That is the only way to actually go.
Yeah, that's completely horrible, because you never know what won't work after the reinstall. So yeah, I hate that, but never mind. It's an opportunity, and to Lord Evil, yes, our channel requester is not working still, but I registered your request for later, so no worries, it will be played. And we pay attention to IRC, and we pay attention to Facebook mostly, and you pay attention to YouTube. That's on Slagon's end, I guess.
And Facebook. And on YouTube, Andrew Kroll says, yuck, use Linux. Yeah, I actually would if Cubase ran on it properly.
But he uses Linux too, so
yeah,
no worries.
On most of my other machines, except for the Mac, which runs Mac OS. But the streaming machine runs Linux, and my main workstation for anything non-studio related runs Linux. So yeah, all the servers, etc. Yada yada.
Well, yeah.
I'm multicultural.
You have all the operating systems that you can have. You have also OS X on the other machine. So, yeah, you know everything. And the RPG had a request, not even one. He says, hello, Ziona and Slagon. I'd love to hear X-Men and Vertigo Green Agent mix. Can you play that for us? Thanks. Yeah, sure. If Tractor won't freeze, because now it freezes again. I'm not able to press the play button.
Now it's unfrozen.
Unfrozen. Now we can go with it.
chords in the same key and it sounds good. Potato, potato.
X-Men and Vertigo Green Agent mix for LP Chip. Thank you for your request. And Adam Burt said that the best way is to get it and survive. We can't be hiding from the virus forever. Yeah, that is one.
While true, you could say the same thing about a lot of things like measles that several thousand people die of every year, while we still have a fucking vaccine. So the best thing is to actually get a fucking vaccine.
Yeah, if you have a vaccine. For this, you don't have a vaccine
yet. It's
so
to get a vaccine.
Yeah. It's not the problem. I mean, if we have it, we are not panicking either. It's the problem is that we can just spread it around, like to anyone practically who is approaching. And by the way, I have a delivery soon coming. So
yeah, that's an interesting thing because the delivery places like food delivery and package delivery and whatnot, these are stopping the signature requirement. So they don't check your ID or have you write a signature anymore. Because they used to have these digital things you kind of wrote on with your finger.
Right.
So they don't do that anymore. They just dump the food outside the door and leave. If you are actually infected.
Okay, but
and
they don't
notify
know.
And notify
they don't know
and
if you
notify them.
Right. Well, I can track my delivery and I will see if it arrives. It will be kind of fun when they ring the doorbell.
Yeah, it's supposed to arrive.
I'm gonna talk here.
Yeah, it's supposed to arrive now between 8 and 9. So
I'm gonna tell you when it's arriving. It arrives in 16 minutes.
Yeah, so within a half hour.
Well, 16 minutes and half hour is not entirely the same thing, but
within half an hour, I said.
Okay, you can say that. So there are like 4 stops in front of me, and then it will be here. I just love this tracking system. I think it's so smooth. It's just really nice. So,
and LP Chip had a bit of a joke that programmers all over the world are adapting their programs in preparation for the coronavirus. They are replacing TCP connections with UDP connections to avoid handshakes. And for those that are not programmers or know networking, basically, is that a TCP connection. When it connects to the endpoint, it's the destination sends a handshake back, so they agree on the parameters for that connection.
And this is how it's called, a handshake.
Yeah, exactly. And UDP, they just throw the data your way, and if someone is there to listen, great. If not, never mind, kind of. So yeah. But yeah, I've seen that meme go around a couple of rounds on, on Facebook.
It
already.
Avoided me yet, so yeah, thank you, LP Chip. And Adam Bart said,
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
read that. People will start cooking at home. I feel sorry for the youth.
well, Sligon did that today, and
Yeah.
we kind of rarely cook, especially on weekdays. Maybe sometimes it happens on weekends, but we are lazy asses, and for two of us, it's not always like worth to cook, so we just order.
Yeah, and it's different if you work from home as well. You don't have you don't really pass food places. You can just pick something up.
Yeah, true. And we will see for how long we can pick things up. And I definitely don't meant to predict anything. I think that this will be like coming in a wave and go away. But that's my chain of thought. And we will see how long it will last and how.
Yeah, one of the problems is that it's novel. There is no immunity in the herd. In quotes, the herd being us people, and it basically will affect a whole fucking bunch before it's over. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, I assume it will probably the next 2-3 months, and then we will see how far we go. Like at summer, because some people speculate that the worm will kind of have a bad impact on the virus.
There's no evidence for that. It has already affected warm areas. Australia is kind of warm, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, people are buying all the toilet papers there now. Yeah. So just so you know.
And they aren't buying it because it's warm, but they are hoarding. Herding. Yeah, they are herding their sheep as well, but they are hoarding. Bit annoying, but that's people for you. But yeah, there's no evidence that heat will make any sort of impact on this thing anyway.
Yeah, then sooner or later all of us will get it, and we will somehow get over it, and hopefully as least as possible people will die from it, because this is the risk, rather, that the weaker immune systems, people with weaker immune systems and elderly folks, they are more, for them it can be dangerous. So this is why it actually matters if you get it and you go out to people, and that is the problem.
It's still serious for some healthy people as well. There's some 20% people that need oxygen and whatnot, and they are not only elderly people. It's like my age bracket, 40 to 50, I think it's 0.4% mortality, which is still more than the seasonal influenza, which is 0.1. So it's not like it's nothing. It's still something.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. The opposite of nothing is something, apparently. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So, for this matter, let's play a request. Edward said that I hear the virus hit the West Coast not long ago. Yeah, you hear it right. Sounds like the times the Reds came with the East India Company. Well, guess it's time for some appropriate music. DJ Skids and Omega Man Swine Flu edit.
Class 1 emergency. All civilian traffic is barred from streets and highways. Stay in your homes. Stay in your homes. Those found without specific military orders are subject to summary execution. Stay in your homes. Repeat, Comrade Channel. This is a Class 1 emergency. All civilian traffic is barred from streets and highways.
crack under the strain. And civil defense authorities state that the situation is much the same across the entire country. Martial law is now nationwide. The end of technological man? Is this the conclusion of all our yesterdays? The boasts of our fabled science, the superhuman conquests of space and time, the age of the wheel? We were warned of judgment. Well, here it is. Here. Now.
Now. Yes, now. It is now. Ante Hanula says, maybe we're going to have some good time for composing new SID music. And well, yes, it's one of those things that I would need my Commodore 64 for. Commodore 64 for? Commodore 64 for. Four.
I just came back.
Yes, you did.
I was out there.
But yeah, kind of spending time on creative stuff like doing new SIDs or like I mentioned earlier, learn to play the guitar or the keyboard or the banjo or whatever it might be.
Definitely. It's an excellent opportunity for anyone to pick up new skills, for instance. So you can read up totally new things. There are a lot of tutorials even on the internet for like practically anything you can imagine.
Yeah, you can read up on how the stock market works because that's an interesting thing.
Don't tell me that, right? Yeah, I'm afraid that this is the time when I have to get involved with this, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, it's like learning firefighting after your house has started to burn.
Yeah, it could be worse, but let's say it's not that great. So yeah, my dad was really great in that, but he had all his time to follow the news and the happenings the entire day, so I guess it helped a lot.
Yeah, and an understanding of the how all those things work in conjunction and whatever. The markets itself, I mean.
I think it's a very exciting thing to do, but you really have to dedicate time and stay updated. Like this is really a time-sensitive thing, and
exactly.
Yeah,
it's getting the feel for the timing and whatnot based on the information that you have spent a lot of time getting. And I think in general, signing up for things like these stock market tips like on YouTube and mailing lists and whatnot, those are kind of bullshit, because if they know it, then thousands of other people know it. I think your package is here.
It's not entirely here, but nu är vi nära, they say.
Okay.
So they will arrive very soon. That is so cool. I'm just checking out on the map where they are. I just really love this. My God, it's so exciting when you are like...
It's so exciting.
It's not that anywhere else they don't have it, because technically I think my folks also have it. It's just I didn't really order things like this before, and it's always great just to be completely updated. And yeah, that's one thing. You can wait for the packages when you are... You are like isolated. I
Well,
guess it's...
if that's the high kind of point of your your day, then I don't know.
No,
It must
okay,
be a
now-
pretty boring day.
Well, I would say that not everyone would agree with you here. I'm pretty certain Vortega would agree with me on that. So, yes, a package can always make your day, right?
Yeah, sure, but if that is the whole day just waiting for it to arrive,
Of course, it's not the whole day. You are just happy when it arrives and slightly before, because tracking. So, yeah.
because that's so.
That's that
Fancy.
expands the period while you are happy. So don't tell anything, and yeah, it will take 6 minutes still. So I'm not going to check this right now. But yes, this is also one thing you can do, and I think it's. I was always wondering about those things, when to pick up like new skills, because there are so many interesting things out there to learn.
Constantly. Continuously.
Yeah, continuously. It's just how you align it with your schedule and how you squeeze it in once you return, for example, from work where you were completely focused the entire day, and then you might want to just sit back, relax, and do nothing, sometimes you might do some favors and some other stuff actively. And to be honest, it can be also exhausting. So sometimes you just want to sit back, relax, and do nothing. And this is also what you exactly can do while you are isolated.
Yeah,
so,
for a little while at least.
For a little while. And then, of course, you get bored of doing nothing. At least we do. But there are sort of lot of things that you can just pick up as new skills. For instance, I really have to go back to learn Swedish, because I think now there will be an excellent opportunity to kind of get something out of this, and I wanted to schedule it into my daily kind of routine. I didn't manage yet, so it needs a bit more diligence than that if you want to schedule properly something. Yeah. So
well, the way I go about it is this is different. Trying to learn a language, obviously, but like learning Blender stuff. I usually just have some series going on the TV after work, that is, and then just sit and do stuff in Blender. Because why not? It's fun.
I understand you. It's just an active thing that you do. And meanwhile, I'm not really sure how you can pay attention to everything, but I really admire that skill. It's amazing.
Well, it's two different things. Like reading a book and listening to music. You can do that, for instance.
Yeah, that you can do.
And chewing bubble gum and walking. You can do those two things at the same time as well.
While you are reading up some articles, tutorial articles, I'm not entirely sure how much you can pay attention to the series, because I definitely cannot.
The split brain thing going on there.
Good for you. For me, it's completely difficult, and I'm not really sure how to manage that, but never mind. They say that women are better at that. I still don't experience this, but...
Martin Land says, stock market tip, fuck it.
Yeah, unless your family's things are there and you are managing it, then until the point you can fuck it, but that is one of my problems right now. And yeah, I was reacting late, so right now I just have to probably not do what everyone else does, because this is one of the basic rules. But obviously everyone gets scared, and then they just get out everything, and then it's not a good timing at all. It's just not a good timing for these things.
No, it is not.
And we have Lord Evil with a request, and it's a very nice request. It's Drew and Completo.
Completo.
Pling.
Helps if the microphones are open.
Yeah, it really helps.
It does.
It does.
It does. And Michael Wilhagen says, scientists have found out that women already are infected with the virus without even having symptoms. As a precaution, they recommend that women should isolate themselves from their partners and kids and go straight into quarantine. Spa hotels and massage salons are particularly well suited for a safe quarantine. Women should stay at least 14 days there.
I like that. I could do this. Yeah, I think.
Well, you could you?
I could survive there somehow. It would be very difficult, though.
Very difficult.
I would so suffer.
The horror.
I know, right? Well, I had some plans to go for a wellness weekend with you around January, but I'm afraid this has to wait a little
You
bit.
think?
I think. Just slightly. A little bit. Not much.
Or are you saying I'm unwell?
Well, I don't know how unwell you are, but maybe this is not the best timing to time any visit.
No, maybe not.
Maybe there would be better times for any sort of visit or party. And oh, by the way, parties. Martin, I hope you know Revision is cancelled. So last week when we were on, the organizers were still on with the party. They claimed that it will happen and all of that. But no, Revision is cancelled. So instead, they will have virtual competitions, if I know correctly. So
yeah, that's what they said on their Facebook page, at least.
Yeah, better check out the details and the schedule. But the compos will happen. Only this time, no gathering from the people, at least not live. So there were some people who said that there's no point to actually talk and meet because you can hold parties online as well, where this is the opportunity now, I guess. We will see how it goes. And hi, Malthus, and hi, Cosmic Kanga on IRC. And also hi to Martin, who I didn't say hi yet because we were slightly busy here. And by the way, my packages arrived. It's not even one, it's two big boxes. So I'm just so happy. And he will get a heart attack soon.
She got some TCP packets. There needed to be a handshake over there.
Yeah. Nah, the guy also kept his distance now. Yeah. I wonder why. So yeah, it was like he put down the package.
He took one look at you and said, "You look sick."
I understand that I look sick, but still. Right. Yeah, Adam Bart said, I think shopping centers are good too. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, for catching the thingy. And back in the... when was
true.
it with... what's it called? Fuck, I need to find this. Hold on. Chickenpox. When you're a kid, because nowadays we do have a vaccine and all of that shit, but back in the day they used to have chickenpox parties, so they gathered all the kids and made sure everyone got it.
I heard of this, because it's dangerous later on, but if they get it in a small age,
exactly.
They are fine. So definitely I can understand that. And Votega asks, what is in the package? So, should I just tell everything that is in the package? Hang on a minute. It's...
No, clothing is in the packages. That's
definitely
what's in
clothes
there.
are in the package.
Yeah,
because...
that's all the information that is needed. It's stuff you put on.
Put on.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, this I completely got addicted to this Swedish second-hand shop, and they are like so organized, and they do everything so well, like all the logistics. And now they put out my stuff as well that I sent them in, like close to 100 stuff. And we will see how it goes, because of course there is an announcement fee that you have to pay. Well, you don't have to pay it, but virtually it's like within credits on your account. But it's totally worth it because they photograph, they do all the description, everything, and you just send the stuff in and you get like 40% of the price, but still it's like completely worth it if you have a lot of stuff and you don't really want to take care of the logistics, I think. So
yeah, and then the Vessels comments that I love that we men are so simple. T-shirt and jeans. Yeah, I'm actually wearing a T-shirt and jeans and a hoodie. So good to go.
I know. You know, we have to pay attention to the details, like the earrings and the top and the, you know, this is how it works. But it's like, it's also a creative process, in my opinion, because putting on an outfit and syncing the things to look
What are you thinking
good.
of?
What are you thinking of? Yeah, syncing the things. It's almost the same as like composing something or just put a design together, like design a web page where the elements fit together. Essentially, it's the same concept.
If you are using a framework, yes.
Yeah, it's a good question what framework you are using when you put on your clothes. But anyway, it's I really enjoy that. So, and probably this is why. But I never looked at it like, I guess, like as an average women-like thing that they love to do, because I think that it is more than that, to me at least. I really enjoy to pick things and just, you know, sync them as they are on the flow. And yeah, that's also one of the things you can play around with when you are like in between walls. It's just to kind of do some visual syncing and, oh my god, cleaning up and organizing things. It's been a while. I so need to do that, and I have no idea when. Maybe now is the time to do that. Not to mention the vacuuming, because we definitely need to do that. And we also definitely need to play some music now, I think.
We definitely need to play some music.
Yeah, we definitely need to play some music. And Lord of Crystalic wants to hear Stationary Arc. He claims that it's from a bot, but we don't really know.
From a bot?
A bot? Chris Abbott.
Oh, Abbott.
Abbott. Oh, Abbott. I'm sorry.
Which bot?
The bot. No, it's... I'm sorry.
I don't think he actually made a stationary arc.
Yeah, we don't think... it's...
If he did, I have forgotten about it.
There is a synth sample medley that he did, but it's like a quite early thing. And also... the most requested song in that terms, I think, is made by Yogi Liliadal, and the synth sample Stationary Arc version. So if you are okay with that, I'm going to play this now.
Now, by a bot.
I didn't ask you. Yogi Liljedal and Synth Sample Stationary Arc. Hopefully it will do for now.
It's a beautiful, beautiful song.
Yeah, not an accident that it's over-requested sometimes in the shows, I guess.
Indeed.
And Malthus said that, did you guys hear that Netflix is giving away free subscriptions since everyone is supposed to stay home? And
no, I haven't heard that.
And well,
I'm happy to pay for it as soon as I get, or rather, as soon as the what the hell is it called again? Kodi folks have sorted out the hardware decryption on Raspberry Pis. I can actually order Netflix.
Ah, okay. And he confirmed when I asked that, is it for real? That yes, and I think it is one of the best campaigns they could do. I guess 30% will not cancel after the crisis when Netflix charges again. Yeah,
probably,
that is
probably more than 30%, I would say.
Totally
So,
genius. They are marketing geniuses. Absolutely. It's, yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And then Martin said, well, Malthus, I hate it when capitalism takes advantage of such situations. Brr, they want to addict people with their shit. Yeah, well, that's how the world works, if we like it or not. I get what you say. It's just, well, we are people and we have our weaknesses, and obviously some people will notice that, and maybe not even on purpose, but they will use it. This is something that we might not even do on purpose, but sometimes we do it completely unconsciously, even with each other.
I missed the beginning of that. I was trying to figure it out, but I couldn't because I was reading something.
No, I just say that Martin said that he hates when capitalism takes advantages of such situations.
Yeah, sure.
And,
but that's with the Netflix situation here. I don't think it's nefarious. It's not trying to hide what they're trying to do. They are very upfront with what they are trying to do, and unless there are some weird clauses in the contract that you sign when you sign up for this free period or whatever, then I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's to come up with these concepts and ideas, it's also a very creative thing. So I always looked at good marketing ideas also as an art, type of art, because it's not everyone that will think of these things, and they need some creativity as well to come up with. So concepts are pretty much the same. And if someone figures out a good concept, like not that long ago, Lidl came up with a concept of Swedish meatballs, I think. And they started to advertise it on Facebook. Like, you don't have to go to Sweden to have some Swedish meatballs. And this was like a completely Hungarian campaign, but they made agreement with all other companies, like the big companies that you can know. And the big companies started to comment under the Facebook post anything related that refers to their own services. So it was good for everyone. It was a win-win situation because the little post got like a huge publicity. Everyone admired the marketing, and under the post, after the Swedish meatball advertisement, the I don't know, T-Mobile said that, oh, and you can go through the distances and just use us as if you have to talk with anyone from Sweden, or any other thing that you can just think of.
Yeah, but that's in a sense funny advertising. I do not have anything against this. When you try to manipulate people without being upfront with it.
Yeah,
if it's clearly
that's not honest. Yeah, that's
if it's
true.
clearly a humorous thing that you're trying to do, then I'm fine with it. But it's that kind of trying to manipulate people into buying something or thinking something about something, that sort of thing. It's just nah.
Yeah. So you have to be upfront with your communication, and same goes with the crisis communication from like companies and like that. But I admire when someone comes up with a very original idea like this, and really the entire country paid attention to that, because it was like over 100 or hundreds of big companies, from Coca-Cola through all the big names that you can think of, McDonald's, whatnot, commenting under the post. And they were referring to their own services, but connected in connection with the original post. And in the end, everyone just won, because everyone just loved to read the comments, because all of them were like creative and connected to the original concept. So
the best ones I've ever seen are the comments or reviews rather for weird things they sell on Amazon. Some of them get really bizarre, like a lotion or whatever, and then the first weird review appears, and then I put this on my scrotum, and now I can sit for 3 hours or whatever, stupid things like that, and then it kind of snowballs from there. And I do believe that is not intentional from the company's side, but it got them sales, so win-win. Everyone had their fun, and as long as it's fun, I think it's okay.
Yeah, and as long as it's upfront and straight, that is very true, because originally some people hate marketing because they think it's manipulation, but I think originally doesn't mean to be like everyone
else.
No, it's more like you can be upfront and straight with your marketing. You just have to be honest about your product, because if you promise more, or if you promise a different thing than the impact is, then yes, it is a problem, and then it is a manipulation, and you shouldn't do that at all. Because if you want to stay as a credible party, then you just have to say as much as you can keep as a promise. That's it. All about marketing now. So
yeah, welcome to Marketing Hour by Erika.
Well, I work in a marketing team, so obviously I know some things about it, and
yeah, so
I always
next hour
enjoyed
will be dedicated to IT.
Yeah, I know that they are considered to be two very different things, but
they are.
Here is the thing: I can connect to both worlds. So
yes, but IT is very different from the marketing world.
It is very different.
Yes,
but it's not impossible to connect those at some point. It's just some people think that it's impossible.
No, but they are different worlds. They are like working in IT and working in marketing. Those are two different things.
Yeah, that is very different thing. I confirm that. So how about playing some requests?
Yes, and thank you for confirming that obvious fact.
You told me that like twice, and it's not that I don't agree with you. It's okay. So, Ankan of Crystallic wants to hear Instant Remedy and Warriors, and he says, thanks for the best radio. Yay!
Yay!
Welcome. Are you talking about us?
No.
But anyway.
Obviously not.
So yeah, how about Warriors Club version? Yay, coming up. It's a nice long song, but I seriously could listen endlessly to this loop. And
yeah, it's like everything Instant Remedy does. I kind of, as soon as you hear an Instant Remedy song, you know it's him, and you can just, it's quality stuff. You can keep listening to it forever, basically.
Definitely. And they are coming with he is coming with a new album. It's still like, for me, it's still so weird that I always think that they are a group, but it's him. I don't know why, or maybe it's because in the early years there were some groups doing remixes, but in my head it just got stuck. And since then I can't get rid of the thought that there are like more of them. Anyway, you can check out their SoundCloud and Bandcamp, and yes, the new album is coming, and the release date is in April, if I remember correctly. So
I think he had the release date on his SoundCloud. Instant Remedy, Remedy, Remedy. Instant
Remedy. Oh, and he's also Swedish, right?
Yes,
of course he is. The name Instant Remedy is probably most well known among the fans of the Amiga and the C64 SID remixing scene. The styles range from 80s synthesizer era to chiptunes to EDM house. Nice. This is his...
Mixed Up is the album called.
Yes, so make sure to stay tuned for the album.
Yeah, and no date. Will be available spring 2020. Dope.
And my last infos are like it's April-ish.
Yeah, I seem to remember that too, but I can't find the info now. But...
yeah, we have seen it.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Somewhere.
At some point. I just went away from the show chat, so now I don't see what's going on. But anyway,
release will be in March or April, he said.
Last info, and I don't know how close info it is 10th of April or something, but we will see.
Well, his own post from March 7 says release will be in March or April.
Yeah, okay. It might be not official, it might be something that a friend heard somewhere. So
no, this is from the official page.
Yeah, I'm not checking the official page right now.
I am.
Yeah, I know. I understand that you are. I'm not. I have an understanding.
You have an understanding with yourself.
Yeah, and with you, hopefully, sometimes, occasionally, it happens. And we already told to everyone Antti Hannula's suggestion, right? So maybe we're gonna have some good time for composing new SID music.
Exactly.
Yes, we shouldn't forget about that either, because it's a great way of killing time if anyone would be bored. So
yeah, and by the way, if you want to keep updated on the Instant Remedy thing, you can find his stuff with updates and everything on irsounds.com. There he posts the official official
much.
gospel of Instant Remedy is right there.
The official what?
Gospel.
Gospel.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Okay. What do you think of playing some demo music?
Demo music?
Yeah.
Do you have a demo in mind?
Well, Christian Busch wants to hear Mactone, Free Ankare. Yeah, I don't know. Ankare.
Three Anchors.
Three Anchors. Oh, it's Finnish, is it?
No,
is it?
It's the latter was English and Tre Ankare is Swedish. Mactone is Swedish too.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I was mistaken. This is from the Twisted Chipster music disc. So, demo synth product, but not demo music, unless someone used it for a demo. And I have to look this up because I don't know everything by heart. But yeah, I think we can play that, because why not? So here it comes. That was quick. Yeah, 1 minute and 25 seconds, and I haven't checked how long or short it is.
Konrad Kierskowski from Poland says, quick info from Poland here. Cinemas closed, swimming pools closed, schools are closed too, but guess what is opened, and even increased number of their events.
No way! I heard that, the eastern region is less affected yet, so that's surprising.
The events that have increased are church sermons and whatnot.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, good thing. Pray the thing away. That'll work. And apparently there's a shortage of toilet paper. What the fuck is this hoarding of toilet paper? Seriously.
People would hate
fuck?
if they have a shit and they don't have anything to handle it
Yeah,
with,
but seriously.
I guess.
Seriously, hoarding toilet paper?
It very much looks like it.
It's the stupidest fucking thing ever. It's like people seem to be hoarding toilet paper like they're never gonna get their hands on any of it ever again.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Or their asses on it rather
Just
than
think
their
of the
hands.
simple fact that you have to survive a few days without toilet paper. Like,
No,
how
you
would
don't
your
have
life
to.
look like? Okay.
Yeah, but why hoard like a
What we're gonna do right here is go back, way back into time.
That's why I'm saying humans need sleep too.
They do.
It's
I had a
required.
nap earlier.
Anyway, it's a long weekend ahead. You have all the time to figure out what went wrong.
Yeah.
And whatever you can delegate to me, you can.
Well, you can try to figure out why this doesn't work if you want to.
Yeah, I can. The thing is with the video streaming software that since you were the one who started the video streaming part of the broadcasting, I really don't know much about it.
I think I may have started the audio part of the broadcasting too.
Well, okay, that was a bit earlier. I'm so sorry. You started probably the same time when Instant Remedy started to do remixes. Or, well,
yeah,
we don't really know when exactly he started or which was the year, but he certainly has remixes from 2000, so at least until 2000 we can go back, and Slay Radio was born in 99.
Yeah, I think he started earlier than that. The 2000 ones, I think, were uploaded when the kind of repopulation or the population of stuff from the Triad MP3 site came online, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks from the initial kind of feel from the Triad MP3 site. Exactly when they were released on the Triad thing, I don't know, but we can ask him next week.
Yeah, definitely. That would be an interesting topic to talk about as well.
Indeed.
And Boswank, he plays with our patience today as well, since of course he requested Hot Mamas and Marsa's sweet early work print, obviously, Summer Wives, but he also requested Rhine and Rubicon, Gianluca Verenja version, even more summer vibe music. Okay, that was the last request. I'm a cunt, he says. Oh. Well, I guess that depends on judgment, but, you know, we love you. So here comes Rhine and Rubicon, Gianluca Verenja version.
to go.
because this is how it feels, and this is actually it's not called terminal because we are on Windows here, so it's
it is a console.
It's your prompt.
It's a terminal of sorts.
Yeah, so I'm on IRC today from command prompt, so sorry anyone if I wouldn't notice anything. I guess I will notice the private messages, right? You just have to... Yeah,
it's pretty simple. Let me demonstrate. You would get, as you know, hello, like something like that. Hello,
okay.
one.
At
So
least
green is a private message.
At least it's highlighted, so I will notice. So please, if you will have questions for Instant Remedy, send it to in a private message. That would be the best, because it's a higher chance that we will notice it than in the ongoing conversations of Facebook or YouTube or the IRC, because sometimes it speeds up and sometimes people just tend to sit back, relax, and listen to us. So it's all right. Both of them, it's all right. But in case of questions, requests, well, not the requests, but the questions, certainly write a private message. And regarding requests, you can always post your request on slayradio.org. And Snooglo said, Ziona, welcome to my world.
It's like you haven't talked in a week and just had to get everything out right now.
I'm so sorry. Am I a talkative one?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And no, we do not just sit around on the sofa and just not talk all day long.
No. He is an introvert, but not as much of an introvert. And I'm sorry, but I wanted to put something here as a start for today instead of... Yeah, you prepared something, but I wanted something else.
Okay.
We also have an exclusive in the first hour to show you, so that is also something...
Or play to you. We can show it as well. Take it out and dangle it.
Did I tell you that I hate this sometimes? Yeah, exactly. No, I think that someone is really worth to be shown here, not only because we have an exclusive for today, but also because he jumped up right to the top of the all-time charts with his brand new remix, and he is called Peter Clark, and his Cybernoid alt-rock mix is right at the top of the all-time charts, like in a few days, which means how many days exactly? Like, it was released on the 9th May, so...
Yeah, and he has 22 votes. A fair few so far. Yeah. And most of them are positive, obviously, for obvious reasons. Because obviously. So yes, 5 days, 22 votes, and being on the top of the charts, Peter Clark and his brand new Cybernoid, the alt-rock mix.
Isn't this a wonderful piece?
Indeed. It's swinging.
And he is on fire.
Yeah.
Because he is having for us an exclusive in the first hour today as well. So it's not enough that he is already on the top of the charts, but he is going for the Amiga top of the charts as well.
Yeah, so the one that is the exclusive for tonight is actually already on the Amiga
I think he thinks...
remix queue.
Yeah, exactly. I think he thinks that he's kind of finished now. He achieved like everything with the C64 chart, so let's go for the Amiga charts then, right? This is how you do it. Good. Very nice work.
This is how you do it. Ooh, it's how you do it.
Yeah, that connects to some other remixer, if I remember correctly.
Yes, Lagerfeld.
So it's a public information. Okay.
Yeah. He co-wrote that song.
He co-wrote it in the 90s, and
yes.
I was...
and it was one of the big hits.
Exactly. It's like, yay!
And Jesper Klingvall said, damn, this is a good remix. Yeah, it is.
It is. So it seems like a lot of us love it very much. And more is yet to come. So, very nice. And today... if you focus your request on the Instant Remedy songs, we would be also very grateful, but it's not a requirement, it is just recommended. Most likely after 9 we will play Instant Remedy songs anyway, because you have to hear especially a few songs from the new album, which contains also own compositions, by the way, not only remixes of his, but...
I think it was half and half, so 50-50.
Exactly. So 4 tracks of own compositions. And I hope my memory is correct.
Yeah, 4 of his own and 4 remixes.
Yeah, exactly, as you do. So.
Christian Chessem, IRC server, irc.fnet.org, and the channel is Slay Radio.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you are a Facebooker, you can join us.
He was just asking about the specifics of IRC. And on IRC, we have ACK, and Peter Clark is on there, and hello Dymo, and Martin Land as usual, and Dax is on there. Hello Snuglo, and hello Shargo.
Nice to see everyone. And I'm not confused about the fact that it's like console view. I'm confused about the fact that the notifications are barely like divided from the conversation. Like everything is almost within the same text color.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts because part of me is a UX designer, as you know.
Well, welcome to the good old days.
Right. I just want to make it more transparent.
Well,
yeah, never will happen. Sorry. Yeah, I know.
Oh, and Wobbler is with us on that there IRC as well.
Very nice to see all of you there. And I guess there will be even more and more people gathering up. So very good, because today we have our guest who is probably one of the biggest remixer pioneers of all time. So we could say that he is around there right from the start, which is around 2000. I know it's 99.
Even earlier than that. But he was in the... a good indication of an old-timer in the remixing scene is... Did he have any remixes in the initial import when RKO opened? And the answer for Instant Remedy is, heck yeah. He did.
Indeed, and it's not enough that he did. He is what?
ACK on Facebook. You're so old you can't remember the good old days.
Yeah, we already get like confused brains here, and amnesia, and never mind.
Alzheimer's and whatever it's called.
Everything that comes with age.
I can't remember what it's called anymore.
Yep. And we have a few requests already.
Yay!
And a very cool request, by the way. The first one is made by Top64, and it's Instant Remedies, if I remember correctly, the latest RKO release, which he uploaded in 2016. Indeed, I was right. Wow, I remember that. July 2016, and it's R-Type with the French talking.
Une grande flotte de combattants ont été envoyés pour arrêter les étrangers. Aucun d'entre eux n'est jamais retourné. Une grande flotte de combattants ont été envoyés pour arrêter les étrangers. Aucun d'entre eux n'est jamais retourné.
Ah, how great that you found a proper button.
Yes, I think someone found a sidechain button when they did that song.
Well, that very well might be. Yeah, that's one of the most sidechain tracks of his, that is for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's nice, though.
Yep, and definitely the modern dance kind of thing. And we will definitely stay by a bouncy evening here, I guess, because yes, I can see on the request as well that bouncy things will be coming up.
Yeah, I kind of think people associate Instant Remedy with bouncy bounce.
Yeah, and they are not wrong.
No, they are not wrong.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering here, actually, I was hesitating about Martin Land's request here, which is a fun one, and it would be also fun just to have a look. Meanwhile, I'm looking, actually. How are you doing this week?
This week?
Yeah.
It's kind of been very meeting heavy work-wise, so I don't know. Had some good use for the setup. We actually figured out a way to use the studio cameras in work meetings, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, you are absolutely into like setting up the studio and the small options, all the small options for it. So you take all the opportunity to test.
Yeah, of course. It's a perfect way to test it in a live setting, and who cares if they see my ugly mug on a meeting anyway, so I could break it or not. Well, it's here as well, obviously. But it's been kind of a busy week migration-wise, doing migrations at work. So part of them are done. So moving on to the next ones and so on. So been kind of busy.
Yeah.
But been good busy.
Yeah, I can relate. I was the same. Had quite a busy week and full of emailing and meetings going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even more emailing than meetings for me. But it's going well. So that's nice. And of course, the usual quiz now. It got a tradition in my team that we do a Thursday quiz. Obviously, like end of Thursday is always we spend like half hour on Teams together and have a quiz for each other. And all the time when someone loses, there are like I guess around 13 or 14 team members participated. And if someone loses, he or she does the next week's quiz. And I got the one before the last one today, so I don't have to do that for the next week. I'm so happy about that. Yeah, but it's great fun when others are doing it. Obviously, I have to put an effort into it if I would be the next. So, I guess I have enough to do. So it's like I'm trying to avoid this as much as I can.
Just scrape the bottom. As long as you're not at the bottom, it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like I really enjoy it, even if I'm not specifically the best with all the actor and movie-related questions. Of course, not all of them. Better
Tom Hanks. It's always a good answer.
Yeah, that is very true. And today there was a question of Forrest Gump, which I hit it correctly. Exactly. So that is at least something, I guess. Anyway, I guess I prepared the next request here.
You guess?
I guess.
Uh-huh.
Who's
it for?
Martin Land, and he said he wants to hear something to dance to, like a smashy Space Harrier remix maybe. And here's the thing, from the Space Harrier remixes, I think we should play now the one that the artist's name is definitely showing that he was inspired by Instant Remedy, because the artist's name is Slow Poison. So this would be Space Harrier Bit Live Arcade Mix by Slow Poison.
Welcome to the Fantasy Zone. Get ready.
Slow Poison and Space Harrier Bit Live Arcade Mix. We have to ask Instant Remedy, of course, if he's familiar with Slow Poison, but I guess he is.
Probably. Boz and Chris started that pretty early.
Yeah, okay. So, he should know.
Yeah, it would surprise me greatly if he did not know. Maybe he's just forgotten if he doesn't remember or whatever, but he should, I think.
Anyway, we will still have time to ask him today, I guess. And I'm having a little bit of problem to guess here what Lord of Crystalic wants to hear, because he said Instant Remedy, none. None? Like N-U-N. Like, is it a nun from
is
Order?
Is it a Virgin track?
Virgin track? Or... Yeah. I really went through the track collection and I really couldn't guess what you mean. But I'm still trying, actually. I'm still struggling here. There's nothing I can think of. If it's like an acronym, nothing I can think of. But I might miss something, I guess. Yeah, we will see. So maybe later.
Maybe later.
And also I forgot to mention that when Top64 asked, he added in a later comment that he was requesting the R-Type remix for Crowd Guy, who cannot make it again for live listening. But I saw Crowd Guy, he is there on IRC. So
maybe
what is this right now? Oh, he had to go, or
maybe they just listen on different channels and say that I'm too busy, and they're kind of in each other's in each other's what's the phrase I'm looking for? They are in their own little bubbles or some such.
And sorry about that. He reacted to me, but obviously I don't see anything in this console view. So he reacted and he said that he won't be able to make it again, like live listening, but later on probably he will re-listen. So he confirmed that. And yes, the second track of the evening was playing for you as well. So
Crowd Guy
mentioned that, and I noticed that the time is already 8:30.
Shall we play an exclusive?
I think that would be the time for playing the exclusive.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And wondering if there is any sort of sound going on. Is your Facebook silent by any chance? I really hope so that it is.
The volume thingy down there.
Of the video, yes, but I'm curious about your system sounds.
Well, let's see. Play a few notes.
A few notes?
Press play on that.
No, that will play. This is not my question. My question is that if we get new chat messages, the listeners will hear.
I have no notifications.
Okay. You have no notifications.
No.
That's cool. That's
or sound. I
like to live without notifications.
I always switch them off. The first thing I do, if there is a way to switch off notification sounds, I switch them off.
Yeah, I like that. I totally like that. So I would say that we should show now an exclusive, as we agreed. And this attempt of Peter Clark will go for the top of the Amiga charts, as we could get used to from him. So this time, not a C64 entry, but it's a very nice new attempt on a Guitar Slinger, and he calls it for now Guitar Slinger Plus version.
Fucking gorgeous.
Indeed, and it is in the Amiga Remix queue. So, just so you know.
Yeah, there were already some questions. Where can I download this tune? Yeah, it's been uploaded to amigaremix.com. So once the queue has been processed, apparently there's, I think, 5 songs in the queue, apparently. So those need to be gone through by the site admins and published. So
The Amiga Remix?
Amiga Remix, yes.
Ah, yeah, right, okay.
And the Grigel is asking on YouTube what happened to RKO. He's trying to download something and gets a message that he needs to contact SiteOp. I just noticed that just before the show because I was going to download the latest so we could play them on the show. But had not time to contact Qued about that. So I do not know what is going on there, but presumably I think there's something wrong with the file storage part of the site. So I'll get in contact with Qued and see what he has to say about the thing.
Yeah, let's hope that he will sort it out very, very soon.
I'm going to see if there's any word on the public chat over here on the thingy-mabob I have over here. Yeah, I'll check that later. Not right now.
Okay. And meanwhile, Max Levine, just so you know.
Hello, Max.
Hi. We have Sonic Wanderer and Custodian Revival ST somewhere, but I couldn't find it. I'm pretty sure that we have it somewhere, but maybe not on your machine.
No,
so.
It's somewhere on the backup server. I think it's from one of the on one of the external drives that host archives of sorts. It's on one of those.
Yeah,
and I copied all of those external drives to the server. So they're somewhere.
Okay, well, let's hope that soon we can copy all the collections together, I guess, that we have, because that would be great. We are missing out on a few pieces here. Yeah, so we have to look into this. Probably won't happen this evening, but you can have another request if you want to, especially if it's instant remedy, then we would be extra happy about it. But yeah, we will see. And meanwhile, meanwhile, Boyer is also with us, and he says, "Hi there, awesome entertainers." Wow. Thank you.
Well, hello.
Hi. can I please request Commando by Instant Remedy? Big thanks. Lots of high fives and cuddles to you. Oh, we love you too. Thank you very much. And yeah, Commando cannot be missing from today's repertoire, I think. So
definitely not.
We really have to play this song. Haha. Josh Levin said on Facebook that this is my favorite Commando remix.
Josh Levin?
Josh Levin, yes. That's his name, Josh Levin.
Uh-huh.
But he writes it differently than Max Levin.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Is that a brother or something?
No,
Cool.
his family name is slightly different. Yeah, but he said it, and also Andy Funky Data Vessels said that a snippet from it is actually his ringtone. So
That's cool.
yeah,
There were some questions regarding the download function on RKO. Quid was doing some updates earlier today, so might be related to that. But he's currently looking into it, so hopefully that will be sorted soon.
that's great to hear at least. And yeah, we might need RKO even if we have all the RKO here, but sometimes...
Yeah, it's easier.
Yeah.
Just fetch it from RKO instead of going into the archives and whatnot.
Sometimes one or two bits and pieces, I don't understand how, but they are missing from your local archive here. So
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were some broken files or something and they failed to copy. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't remember even when I copied all of those files. Actually, the files on that machine might be the oldest archive I have.
Oh, okay.
So
Does
that
it mean
might
that...
explain why there's some missing bits and pieces from RKO, because I haven't kind of backfilled everything.
And it seems like Dex does a very similar thing to what I wanted to do like a few years ago. He does also graphic design for festivals and events.
Yeah, that's
That
nice.
is good to know. Yeah,
cool.
there was a short time span when I wanted to specialize to that part as well, like graphic design for events, even like wedding invitations and other event invitations. That's why.
Is that a big market or something?
It's more like I wanted to take it from the very creative part, like the unusual invitations part. So since I didn't really like the regular, non-customized wedding and other invitations, I was completely thinking out of the box and let's do something completely different. So that was kind of my thing when we started to go with this. But then later on, there was probably because of there was more need of web design. I also went back to it, but now for a change, I'm enjoying it again, which is like I had my burnouts too in that like slight 15 years when I started the thing. But now it's absolutely all right, and I'm in love with my job again, so that's so cool.
That's
I
so
guess
nice.
I wish this feeling for you all. This is a great thing.
Indeed, it is a great thing.
And if we don't enjoy what we are doing by the daily hours, which is like most of our time, then we really have to change something. That is very important as well.
Indeed. Do what you love.
Yep.
And love what you do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we have I0 requesting...
I0.
Yeah, requesting Lazy Jones by Mucky Good from
Mucky
Binary Baby. It's Binary Baby album. Yeah, I guess it's expected that today the listener count is higher, Sligon.
When did I say anything about that?
Well, you just said it to me, like during the track was playing.
Not to the public.
Well, yeah, but there are definitely...
Yes, obviously.
Definitely
it's
more
the
people.
remedy.
Definitely, and he will be here, like...
Soon!
Very,
in 7 minutes
very
ish.
soon. Very soon.
In 7 minutes-ish.
7 minute-ish. I'm really thinking of Malthus's request here. He is almost on the vicious level of Bossbang with his request. Should we play his request? He cannot say something like this in today's show.
Obviously he can.
Well,
but
Malthus.
Yeah, we can play that.
Well, okay, because, well, I intend to play that track and one more request, and then after that we also have a bunch of instant remedy requests anyway to prepare to. But, yeah, Malthus, well, you are not the nicest person here, but let me read what you said. Outrun by Peter W. I know that Instant Remedy did a remix of that too, but Peter W's is way better. No, shame on you. They are different. They are both very good. I would not say that one is better than the other. So, shame on you, especially for today. But here comes your... Yeah?
Oh, wait. If you're having a necklace thing, so am I.
Oh, wow.
There we go. It's a Velcro thing. Perfect.
Wow. You are missing some sort of latex shirt there and some sort of leather kind of things, and then, yeah, that can work. Anyway.
Play the fucking song, will you?
Anyway, here comes Peter W. and Outrun, and after that we might play Kira's request, I think, and after that we will welcome Instant Remedy. So, there we go. Well, I think this song also fits today's topic anyway, because it's a bouncy evening. So
Indeed.
yeah, so in that sense, it's a good request.
It is.
Malthus, who is not politically correct. My God, unbelievable. Well, if you know his profession, that's especially funny.
Exactly.
Anyway.
It's fun.
It's fun. I see a lot of great instant remedy requests coming up.
That's excellent.
Yeah, indeed. And before that, we have a special thing to play for you, which is a request of Kira. And she says that I would like to hear Lukash with Cyber Ninja if there is no copyright problem. I think there is no problem in that sense because it's a very short song.
Yeah, it's more like a promotion for his channels on Spotify, YouTube, and whatnot. So let's promote the man, shall we?
Yep.
All right, and we'll be right back with Instant Remedy.
Yay. Okay, so this was Lukash and Cyber Ninja. If 50 seconds is a song, it's a good question. What is the length where you can call something as a song, I guess. But yeah, it's a really good piece. It's a quality piece, as usually Lukash's tunes are. And as the man's tunes who is with us as well. Hi there.
Oh, that way. He's that way.
Yeah, he is that way for like my direction, and for you, he is a bit further.
Yeah, he's that way.
Yeah. But since you can also see the monitor there, I guess it wouldn't be a problem for you either. So yeah, he is facing you, just so you know as well, but on his monitors.
Anyway, hello and welcome.
Yeah.
Hello.
How do you feel?
Oh, I feel good. I just heard the outrun by Peter W. and it's a really good song.
It is.
Technically, it's light years ahead of mine, but some people might prefer mine because it might have more of the bleeps and bloops from the Commodore 64.
That is very true. Yeah, and
true.
How many years are between those songs? I think a bunch. Let me check it up for you.
I think I made mine at 97.
97? Wow! So your outrun is from 97. I didn't know that. That is so cool.
98 maybe, yeah, 98 I think.
Wow! That is really cool. I have to tell you that it's exactly 10 years between your songs. So it was 2007 August when he released this No Speed Limit remix.
It's that old. I thought it was just maybe 7 years old or something, but it's...
yeah, it sounds fairly recent in that sense, but 10 years is 10 years. And
yeah, I listened to remixes a lot more back in the around 2000 when I was more active. But after maybe 2005, it started to fade. I think I listen occasionally for new stuff, but before around 2000, I listened to every remix that showed up at RKO.
Mm-hmm. Wow, yeah, that's a bunch, because those were really active years.
Yeah.
So, but that means that every now and then you go back to RKO and just check the new outcomes, I guess.
Yeah, I do.
And
I mainly look for the red smiley faces.
Well, you have a couple of new ones on there from Peter W. Not Peter W. Sorry, Peter Clark.
Yeah. Clark. Was he the guy who made Bubble tunes?
He did an orchestra version of that, and he was the one who won 2 awards last year of the Remixer of the Year awards. So, and also he is the one who the first song of today was his, because right after he came out with that song, he landed on the top of the C64 chart, the all-time chart, which is like wow. I guess in 5 days it's
yes, and the original as well.
It's cool. It's cool to hear people from back in the day doing remixing stuff. Several other original composers for the SID. You see from time to time their names show up as remixer of somebody else's song.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
But some people prefer not to be associated with the old music, so yeah, it's different from person to person.
Yeah, I guess there's some depends on how you viewed the time you had back then.
I think
how you perceive the remixing scene in particular, when it's basically going back and digging up old corpses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but,
I read in interviews, I'm not sure who it was, but it wasn't all glamour. It was a pretty hard time, and many times they got ripped off with the jobs. They were doing the stuff, but they never got paid by the companies.
And very tight deadlines.
Yeah. But some people do well with tight deadlines. Like I read Hubbard, the Commando tune. He made it overnight, and in the morning when people showed up, he played the complete tune. And it's a real masterpiece. It's actually one of my top SID tunes.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, you must have been very motivated then when you did the remix, I guess.
Yeah.
Has he ever commented on any of your remixes at some point?
Not that I'm aware of. No, not him, but other people have commented. One thing that I actually pretty cool is that Thomas Detot, he's a guy, one of the producers behind 666.
Mm-hmm.
I made a remix of his Magic Disc. That's on my new on the album.
Yeah.
He thought that the tune was really cool, and that was cool to hear.
Yeah, and he's very active and actually going back to the 64 again and doing new stuff. And Marcus Schneider.
Yeah, he's part of a group, X-Sample, I think it's called.
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't they doing games and graphics and stuff?
They used to, but I don't know if they're doing that now. I think they're concentrating on the music. I
think
haven't really followed that.
Thomas's posts are mostly about the music part, I guess, from what I saw on Facebook at least.
Yeah.
And we had a discussion with him about a year ago, I think. And then,
something like that.
Kind of started. He started to upload his SIDs as well on YouTube with proper kind of sounds, and as it should be. That is important, because there are like SIDs that we knew on a way, and it turns out that this is not how it's supposed to sound. So then he enlightened us as well that this is not how it was originally. So I guess it matters a lot. Have you ever tried to do SIDs, by the way?
No, I haven't. The furthest I have, the closest to creating a SID is using a VST called Quadrath SID. I think it's really good, and you create the sounds like you like you remember them.
Yeah.
All the waveforms and the sound is there.
Yeah,
definitely.
But not making the actual 3-channel SID composing. I haven't been doing that.
That will be fun to hear.
Yeah, definitely would. Especially if you've been poking around with sound design and such in those type of plugins, because essentially that is the same process you do for the actual SID.
Yeah.
There's a thing called Insidious 6581, which is a Reactor library, I guess.
It's like Quadracid, right? But
no, it's a Reactor for Native Instruments Reactor. So it's a.
But
kind of a
is
module.
that sample based or is it?
No.
Then it is like Quadracid. I used Quadracid, and it was also it's a VST basically.
Yeah, but Reactor is the VST, and Insidious is a module for Reactor. So it's a kind of a dual layered.
I know it's Reactor based, but the essence is probably the same. I guess.
What do you mean with essence?
Like you have the
sounds.
Yeah, you have the sounds that are
it makes sounds. So in that sense, okay, it is like the same thing.
Come on, both of them are like SID's VSTs.
Yes, in that sense, yes, absolutely, they are the same. But this is for free as well, Insidious. Unfortunately, you need to have a paid full version of Reactor for that. But the reason I mention that is because the creator of that is very active in still developing it. It's still actively being developed by Mike Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And when
is it
you
related to Peter Clark?
But I don't think so.
No. It's a common name. Yes.
But when you included SID parts of your into your remixes, these were usually snippets from the original, so they were not recreated sounds, right?
No, I tried to use the original sounds. I think that's a big part of why I do the remixes. It's because I want it to sound like I remember the sounds, but I want to add layers of more contemporary drums and bass and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's often the main goal with the remix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
just to have that extra little bit of nostalgia in there.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is with that it's not enough if you have the original SID and you add some dance rhythm to it, because I think, in my opinion, you find the proportions very well. And even in your early pieces, this is why they stay like, I like to call it evergreen. I know it might not make sense that much in English, but it's like it keeps coming with us, and after 20 years we enjoy it the same way, because you found that sweet spot with that proportions, with the SID and the rhythm and the foundation that you kind of do with those. And I think there were many attempts of remixers that tried to do something similar, but the proportions are missing, the proper proportions that you have to find.
Yeah, I think the recipe is pretty simple, but the execution needs more thought and planning and care than just doing the thing from start to end.
Mm-hmm.
You need to think of the structure, how to keep the interest at the pacing and the interest of the song, the proportions of all those aspects on a nice level.
Yeah, very true. Which one of your tracks would be the one that you would think that you found the proportions the best? I know it's a tricky one.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I like those classic bids, the ones I made my first years. I like the outrun. That's one of the reasons I re-released it on the Spotify and so on, because I think that's a track I still enjoy. Technically, it's not much to there's much to wish for in today, but I think there's more than technical quality to a song.
Yeah.
Music from the 50s and 60s will attract a lot of people, even if it's not recorded with a state-of-the-art studio and so on.
Definitely.
Because there's something else. There's some kind of soul, or how you describe.
I kind of usually liken that to gameplay. Even though the graphics were shit on many of the old platforms, the gameplay was very interesting and kind of posed some interesting problems. And then you get to the 3D era where they just throw all the graphics at you, but there's zero gameplay. It's all just sound design, all of it, instead of the actual music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say, how about listening to Outrun in that case? That was also, by the way, my first song that drove to the instant remedy direction. So I guess it's like many of us who would say. I don't know if I told you that story before when we were talking, but my first experience with the Outrun remix was heading towards Helsinki to a demo scene party where a friend of mine was showing it. This is the best. And then he kind of started to play Outrun, and then we were like on the highways on the way to Helsinki to assembly party in 2005. So yeah, the first experience, and I hope that others have the same good memories of this too. So let's have a listen.
Ah, cool story.
Oh, those wins at the end.
Instant classic, instant joy, instant happiness, instant question. How does he do that? Says DMC on Facebook. Or Mikael Wildhagen. So, how do you do that?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's been a while. Was it 97?
Yeah, and I think 98 maybe.
Wow. So this song is from 98.
Yeah.
That is so cool to know as well.
That's one of the tunes that I uploaded to the trial MP3.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that was the first place I uploaded the first bunch of remixes.
Mm-hmm.
That's where people started to listen to them.
Yep.
And my name was recognized among the Sid fans.
Yep, that is where I found you the first time as well.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, and
I'm not sure when RKO appeared. I think it was
in 2000.
In 2000, okay.
Yeah, in June 2000, I think it was.
Yeah, so there are many remixes from June 2000 because all of them got uploaded in the same bunch at the start.
Where were they before they appeared on RKO? Where did they come from? Was it
the bulk of the songs were from the Triad MP3s site.
Okay.
And yours were part of that bulk import in that. Jesper Klingvall, aka Skuggan, says, I remember when I started working at Spray in Stockholm year 2000, they were pumping Instant Remedy remix in the speakers. That's cool.
Yeah, I've heard it. Since I'm working with game development. I've come across people who I work with. Many of them said, "Oh, Instant Remedy, we listen to your tunes at the office."
That is so cool. So yeah, then you have met with colleagues and random people who realize that, oh, it's you. Wow. Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah, really cool.
And we have some questions around here. Peter Clark actually wants to ask you, how much do you use real hardware synths and instruments, and how much is DAW-based VSTs?
Currently, I don't have any hardware synths, but my first album, the one that came out in 2002, I used 2 synthesizers. I had a Roland JD800 that looks like a spaceship. That's one of the main reasons I bought it.
Looked cool.
It had so many sliders. I'm not sure, maybe 50 sliders. It was a crazy, but it sounded really good. And then I had a Virus B, I think. And I just used them to make samples because I didn't have any good MIDI. Since I used trackers, they didn't support MIDI either at all or very bad. Mm-hmm. I had to make a MIDI, make the MIDI and sample the sound from the synth, and then use it as a sample in the song. So it's a bit, it's not as convenient as it is today, where you just load up and everything sounds great and is saved. Correct.
Yeah, a lot more work back then.
Yeah, but yeah, you had to make choices because today, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Maybe later I can take the make the choice. But then you had to do your thing and record it, and okay, it's good enough. It's you have to go with that, or you waste too much time trying to adjust a lot of details that I think many people wouldn't been able to notice anyway.
Yeah.
So the workflow is a bit different when you use recording and and when you have the convenience of today.
And do you have like playing synth in your fingers still? So if there's something, you can just play it, or
no, I'm terrible at playing. I can I'm not sure of the word in English. I plink. I just play them barely.
You play like this.
Yeah.
Kind of like me then.
Kind of like that, yeah.
I can kind of do basic chords on the guitar, but on the piano, nothing. It's like a noob on a computer. Where's the space? Where's the space key?
It's mainly when you do songs for yourself. That's not a remix. You play. You're a bit limited because you since you're not skilled, you can't do like my son. He's really good at playing the piano. He's doing the chords with one hand and do the melody with the other. And he's played so fast I can hardly see his hands. I can't understand how he's doing it. But for me, the main thing is to find the right note and put it in my DAW, and then I go back and press play and adjust stuff. So yeah, I think that's the case for quite many people.
Yeah.
Who produce music.
Definitely. Yeah, we can relate, at least.
Yeah,
that we know.
There's very few Mordies, and Mordy I don't think is so good on the keyboard yet, but he's working on it. But he does play guitar, bass, and the drums. And then we of course have Rhino and who plays anything you give him.
Anything,
And Peter Clark is quite skilled at many of the things as well, especially guitar. So yeah.
And we have a Dax on the channel who became like the star of I would say for you, if you followed the remix scene like until 2005 mostly. But you are familiar with Dax, I think. Right?
Dax, yeah. Oh, I'm not sure how many remixes he has made, but it's hundreds, I think.
Over 130 something, I think, last time when I counted it. So
it's mainly Amiga remixes, I think.
He was oriented, but also he did a couple of 64 ones as well, and they are available on his YouTube channel mostly nowadays. But he said that the Instant Remedy remixes and productions are actually pretty good. One of a few remixers, I think he could 100% produce hits for the radios too. How about that? Did you ever consider?
That's a very nice compliment from coming from him. That has extremely high. He has a very high quality of his remixes as well, and he produces them so fast. He makes like 3 a month or something. It's for me that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't think of make 3 a year.
I'm not sure how much he is producing right now, but some years he just it's a crazy amount and high quality.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. He stated on the channel that he has less time for remixing right now, but I guess aiming for it at one point maybe. So